Hey, welcome to Witsup HQ. I have with me Sarah Piampiano, or as I like to call her, Pew Pew.
That's right.
How you doing? It's another Ironman World Championship for you. Unfortunately, it was a DNF last year, so you're back for redemption, I assume, this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be here. It's this is the race that we all look forward to every year, and I actually feel pretty relaxed and chilled out, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I think it's going to be a really fantastic field and a fantastic race, and I can't wait to see it unfold, and I'm just really excited to be part of it.
That's the thing that we've discussed a lot this week, and what everyone is. The depth of the women's field is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And not just with consistent performers or whatever. There's a lot of unknowns who we know are great athletes, but we don't know how they'll go here, and it's going to be a very exciting race. How do you see the dynamics kind of playing out?
Yeah, I mean, it's over the last couple of years, it's just been so fascinating to watch the evolution of the women's field. I think what you'll find this year more than any other year, although every year it's been getting bigger and bigger, is the quality and size of strong swimmers in the field.
Yeah.
So, that's probably going to make for a pretty significant front pack, and that is going to change the dynamics of the race. And I don't really know how it's going to unfold. I think that this is a situation that we've not really been faced with in the same way ever before, and it is like every other year where you just have to race your race.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that changes the dynamic a little bit, and I am just gonna have to kind of see and observe and see what's going on at the end of the bike and where I'm at and how I'm feeling. But it's cool. It's exciting. I mean, I think that there's probably gonna be some epic blow-ups, as there always are, and there's gonna be some epic racing, and I hope that it's really exciting, because I think it's really good for the women, and it's really good for racing, and really good for people who are watching.
Well, and I think that's the key from a spectator's point of view, is that the epic blow-ups aren't great for the athlete, but it's great viewing. And it really is.
I was one of the epic blow-ups last year.
Thank you for that. It was very entertaining.
Oh, it was so fun. It was amazing.
But just on that, how long does it take to regroup after you've had a disappointment like that? And how do you regroup? So
I generally would say that I am pretty good about letting things roll off my shoulder and just pick myself up and keep going, because I always feel like you're going to have a bad race and it just happens and you keep going. But it's hard here. You put so much effort and so much focus and so much time into getting ready for this race, and there's just sponsor pressure, and there's just a lot that goes on. And so for me to DNF last year, it was pretty hard for me. And I would say that it's something that I've kind of been struggling with for most of the year this year. Just kind of mentally preparing myself to come back and compete again. I will say I came and I did a training block in June, and I was really nervous to come back to the island. I just had had such a bad experience the last time I was here, and I had a lot of emotion around it. And then I came back again in September and did another block here, and I feel I'm in a so much better place. So I'm good now, but I would say it probably took me through at least that first training block where I actually came back and put in some good training and kind of regained my confidence here on the island, where I was able to kind of finally move past that. Yeah,
and just became one again with the island.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I think that when you have a bad race anywhere, it shakes your confidence a little bit. Sure. And to have the opportunity to come back and train and then put in a really good block and kind of reaffirm what that you're capable of doing is a good thing to do.
Yeah, and you tend to do things that, you have this year and last year, do things a little bit different. You come out early, or say 4 weeks early or whatever, train, then go home and come back again.
Yeah.
Can you talk me through the fact that you just love getting on planes and packing bikes, or do you just leave your bike here?
Well, actually, this last trip, when I came in September, I brought 2 bikes out with me, and I did leave one of them here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Brilliant.
But then I still brought my other bike back, so I'll be traveling home with 2 bikes.
Ooh, ouch.
After this. But.
Or we can do a giveaway. So we'll do it through Witsup. All the money can go to charity. Witsup's a bit of charity.
It's a great idea. Particularly since I paid for the bikes myself this year.
Oh, yes. Don't be giving them away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for myself, I feel that Race Week is this really amazing, wonderful experience, and it's just so spectacular, but it's also the World Championships. And there's just so much going on, and people are frazzled, and there's this like crazy energy, and you show up on the island, and you just naturally are like, have this adrenaline, and you end up riding too hard, and swimming too hard, and running too hard, and people are sizing each other up, and it's so easy to wear yourself out. And I think that there's also real value in putting in some time here and adapting and understanding the conditions and the environment. So I come in September, usually a month or 6 weeks before the race, and I'll be here for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And put in one of my last really big final blocks. And then I go home just about the time that everybody else is arriving. And I live in California, Northern California, so I just allow myself to recover. I mean, certainly the environment in California is much less harsh than here in Hawaii, and I'll start my taper there and do kind of a lot of my last key sessions before I come back out. And so I actually just arrived yesterday, Monday, and it's been really perfect for me. I think just kind of I feel really relaxed and chilled out, and I. Even just coming down to a Lee drive today, it's just your heart rate immediately goes up. And so I think that it was a smart decision for me just in terms of my own personal preparations for the race.
Yeah. And speaking of preparations, learning from things like DNS, we learn from the good times and bad times, obviously. But throughout the year, have you made any major changes to bring into this race this year?
I started working with a new nutritionist at the beginning of this year, and the big issue for me going into the race last year is that I overconsumed salt, and so I ended up creating this massive electrolyte balance, and I was having cramping issues and nausea and vomiting, but like to such a degree that I was cramping for an entire month after the race. I created this crazy imbalance. So this year I spent a lot of time when we were out here working a lot on my hydration and understanding my sweat rate levels and how much sodium I need to consume and
how much to leave to
the side. And trying to hone in a little bit more on my fueling and things like that. So there was a big focus on that. But aside from that, my mantra is kind of keep it simple. I think that it's super easy to overcomplicate things, and there are so many details that you can think about and hone in on and try out and whatever. And the idea for me was just to not overcomplicate it and really try to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
I would say the one other thing is last year I felt like I was too lean before the race.
Right.
And I definitely think that came into play for me. And so I was really hyper-conscious about being at a weight that was going to leave me strong and feeling good. And I do feel that way. Like I'm a few pounds heavier than I was last year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually made a really big difference. And I feel really good about that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's only your second day really back on the island, but you seem a lot more relaxed than last year.
Really?
Yeah, you do.
I am. I feel really relaxed about it, and I'm very excited to. I feel really lucky to be here. It's such a fight to be able to race at the World Championships, and it's an honor, and I feel lucky to be here racing.
Well, speaking of all the nice, lovely, fluffy being here, one of the questions that our audience had sent in to a few of our athletes was, why do you do this? What is it about this, not just Kona, but triathlon in general? What is your why? Why are you here?
Yeah, it is. But I think that I didn't know this when I first started doing triathlon, but I think what triathlon has given to me is this capacity to really believe in what is possible from within me.
Yeah.
You know, what my mind is capable of and what my body is physically capable of. And when you start having that experience in triathlon or any sport, I think, but particularly for me, specifically with triathlon and Ironman, it's addictive, right? Like it's exciting to overcome these mental hurdles or these physical hurdles, or, you know, be in the midst of an Ironman and be in this really low point and come out of it, and just the sense of accomplishment and pride that you feel for that, it's really amazing. And so I think, you know, the sport has taught me that I really can accomplish anything that I set my mind to, and I think it's also what keeps me coming back for more. Like, I feel like I haven't gotten the most out of myself yet. I think that I feel like there's more I can ask of myself, and more places I can discover than my mind and body to go to, and so that's why I keep doing it, and I feel really inspired by that.
Excellent. We're going to wrap it up because I know that you've got to make the trek back out to pretty much the other end of the Queen K where you're staying.
I'm staying like at the other end of the island, or in Hilo. I just go by helicopter.
You're going to come in on race day and just get dropped down at Digby Beach via helicopter.
So my one silly story from last year before we go is that I was...
I'm not ready to wrap this up just yet.
I'm ready to wrap it up.
Please go.
So I'm like very superstitious about stuff.
Yeah.
And last year before the race, I've always said I'm not going to go on a helicopter ride unless I finish on the podium or top 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And last year I was like, no, I'm going to book the helicopter ride. So I booked helicopter ride for me and 6 of my family members. It was like $3,000 of helicopter rides.
Oh,
so needless to say, there's none of that ever going on again.
No chopper rides. Okay, got it. Fair enough. Very wise. All right. Well, all the very best on Saturday. Great to catch up with you again, as always.
Thank you. Be good to have you out there. Hopefully
if we can make it work. Yeah, I think we're devising a plan now about how we can get it sussed. Keep an eye out for us.
Good luck to all the ladies.
Yeah.
It's going to be I really do. I really do. I just think that there's just so many amazing women out there. It's going to be awesome to see everybody line up and race the heart out.
Definitely. We'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.